Senator Raphael Warnock and former President Obama knocked GOP Senate candidate Herschel Walker's fitness for office at a rally Friday. Obama traveled to Georgia as one of several stops he is making ahead of the midterms with less than 2 weeks until Election Day. Warnock and Walker are locked in a tight race for the Senate seat in the state, but the incumbent senator and former president said at the rally that Walker has not put in the work necessary to serve in the role. You actually have to know stuff to do this job, Warnock said. He said Walker is not ready and not fit to represent Georgia because the office requires that the holder be someone that people can trust. He said Walker lies about the most basic facts of his life. Walker has faced intense scrutiny throughout the campaign over a lack of transparency following multiple revelations about his personal life. He has run his campaign emphasizing family values, but reports revealed that he had fathered a total of 4 children with different women, 3 of whom he was not married to. His son, Christian Walker, has slammed him recently for being largely absent from the lives of all his children. Walker has also run a platform staunchly opposed to abortion without any exceptions, which is really awful. But he reportedly reimbursed a woman who eventually became the mother of one of his children for an abortion she had after they conceived the child in 2009. The woman also claimed Walker encouraged her to get an abortion a second time she became pregnant, but she went through with the pregnancy. A second woman accused Walker on Wednesday of pressuring her to have an abortion in 1993 during a multi-year affair. He wears his lies quite literally as a badge of honor, Warnock said, referring to a badge Walker pulled out during a debate between the two candidates. Walker has claimed that he trained as an FBI agent and has worked with the Cobb County Sheriff's Office in Georgia, but the Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported in June that he has never been a certified FBI agent or officer, and no records exist in Cobb County to support his claims. Walker admitted in an interview with NBC News that the badge he flashed during the debate was an honorary badge, but Warnock has slammed him for pretending to be a police officer. If we can't trust him to tell the truth about his life, how can we trust him to protect our lives and our families and our children and our jobs and our future? Warnock said. Obama said the race between Warnock and Walker is a study in contrast and said Walker was an amazing football player, but that does not make him the best person to represent Georgia in the Senate. Obama compared the idea of electing Walker to the Senate to having Walker fly an airplane if someone sees him at an airport. You probably want to know, does he know how to fly an airplane? He said. He said being a football player is not disqualifying for running for Senate, but players need to put in the work. He said there is little evidence that Walker has taken an interest in learning anything about public service or helping people. At least we don't really know about it. And that does make you suspect, Obama said. Seems to me he's a celebrity who wants to be a politician, and we've seen how that goes. He said issues of character and having a habit of not telling the truth say something about the kind of leader you're going to be. If a candidate's main qualification is that he's going to be loyal to Donald Trump, it means that he's not really going to be thinking about you and your needs, and you deserve better, Obama said. So, um, this is a really interesting team up between Warnock and Obama, and kind of going in the paint on Walker. And for the most part, I agree with the stuff they're saying. So, but the one major issue for me, because I always point out the hypocrisy of politicians, is where Warnock talks about how when you try to represent Georgia in the Senate, you have to be someone that people can trust. You have to be someone who's trustworthy, right? This is what he says earlier. If we can't trust him to tell the truth about his life, how can we trust him to protect our lives, our families, blah 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 blah. But the problem I have with this is that politicians routinely lie and change their position all the time. The very same president that Warnock is campaigning with, when he ran in 2008, he was against same-sex marriage. When he ran in 2012, he was suddenly for it. Um, it's it's so weird. I mean, heck, if you want to go back even further, we can talk about it. When he was senator from Illinois, he supported a single-payer healthcare option, and then never pursued one after he got in office, despite having the House and Senate for his first 2 years as president. So, I really, and I get it. They're going to say that, oh, Obama didn't lie about his personal life. On that front, I agree, but it's like lying is something politicians do. And usually the only reason they keep getting elected is because most people don't follow this stuff enough to be familiar with which ones have lied about this, that, or the other. Going over to the statements that Obama made, which I think I'm more agreeing with than what Warnock said is if a candidate's main qualification is that he's going to be loyal to Donald Trump, that's not really him thinking about you and your needs. I made this comment a few days ago to somebody in private that it seems like ever since Trump won the White House, what was that, 6 years ago, there's been an increase in these people who you've never heard of, who didn't care about any of this stuff, just getting off their couch, like me, or, you know, deciding, hey, I'm going to run for office. And their main thing is they just repeat stuff Trump says. Oh, I'm going to be tough on illegal immigration. Oh, I'm going to be tough and put America first. I'm going to be against, you know, LGBT rights and the rest of this stuff. But you get the idea that I agree with his statement on this because from what I've seen, a lot of the people that are running now, like a certain congresswoman from Georgia, seem to just be individuals who never cared about this stuff before and have no qualifications and solely get elected because they repeat the same talking points as their dear leader. So I agree with most of the stuff they're saying. I really hope Walker doesn't win because he seems pretty insane. Like I'm not even a big fan of Warnock. He's just another generic Democratic senator. He doesn't really take a stand on any issues. But it's always like voting for the lesser of two evils. And if I was in Georgia, I would pick him over Walker in a heartbeat. And he is certainly better than someone like Manchin, for example, because he does vote with the Democrats more often than not. So yeah, this is a pretty easy choice for me, but I guess we'll have to see if the voters of Georgia will be able to come to their senses and not put Walker in the Senate. The man who wears lies as a badge of honor, and he crossed an extra line because when you're a politician, you're only supposed to lie about your positions. He lies about his personal life. That's the worst thing you could ever do.